do you say to people that are like, no, we should stop immigration?
Trying to stop migration is like trying to stop evolution. Like, that's not going to happen. In Colombia, I was still in the wardrobe.
In the closet?
The closet.
In the wardrobe? Yeah, I love that.
In the cupboard.
I love you, yeah.
Hi, my name is Candice, and this is my teeny tiny channel, which I run with my friend Anita. It's called Science Meets Soul, and we have over 15 years' experience in neurosemantics and in holistic well-being. So we would love it if you would just hit subscribe and support this teeny tiny channel, and maybe you'll get some good life insights, because we know a thing or two sometimes.
Hello, David. David Sedano. How are you?
Yeah, good, Candice. Thank you so much for the invitation to your podcast, your channels, your followers.
My tiny teeny channel that's going to grow?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
My pleasure. I'm really excited because I've been wanting to talk about this topic for ages. When you mentioned it to me the other night,
Yeah.
I was super excited. And today we're going to be talking about what is it like to migrate to another country, to be a foreigner, to set up your life, to be from a minority in many ways, which you'll explain to us. And what are the pros and cons and what's the experience been like? Because obviously I'm a migrant, but I came here when I was young. So I love to hear the stories of people and their experience of Australia, good and bad.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because as migrants, as expats, if we are here, it's for a reason, and
Yeah.
maybe not just for one reason, but for many reasons at the same time. So I believe that for me, being a migrant has been a very deep. It has a very deep meaning because
Yeah.
I feel that I'm walking a path that no one else have ever walked exactly in the same way. Like, I am a unique person from a special generation, from a family, from a region, and my cultural mix is basically uh, living this experience, and
Mm-hmm.
that and doing that also alone makes this as a unique kind of way to live a life, right?
So tell us where are you from and what made you come to Australia?
So I was born in Colombia, and I came to Australia in 2014. So we're 2026. So it's been 12 years so far, and it's been very interesting because my life have changed completely. But not only my life, but the life of the people that are behind me coming, right?
Wow.
Because
Wow.
we are just basically opening ways for people from certain generation, from certain community, like the LGBT community. There is people coming behind us, so they will be able to see what we are doing slowly here to getting into Australia, and why Australia and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why did you choose Australia? Like what was the deciding factor? Like what you're in Colombia and you're like,
yeah.
I'm going to Australia. What was the reason?
Well, to be honest, I was wondering the same question even 6 years after I moved to here. So it was I came here 2014, right? And in 2020, I passed, like many of us, through a crisis, a life crisis, right? So in this
Yeah.
life crisis, I was thinking of what am I going to do with my life? Now that I lost my job, I was actually working migrants, working with people, helping them to process the visas. I was working in migration, actually.
Mm.
So I lost my job in the pandemic because there was no migration to Australia anymore, right?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
when I lost my job, I realized that, all right, so what am I going to do with my life? And through the life crisis that I was passing through, that I was also getting separated from my ex partner as well, after 7 years being together. So that was a hard part. But
Yeah.
the 2020, it was a year where I decided that I had to do some studies in history. So I took my studies in history in modern, contemporary, modern history. And that was the point that I was able to understand why I'm in Australia. What am I doing here? And what am I going to do now?
Oh.
So the reason why I did my studies in history, it was to understand in what part of the timeline of the humanity I am sitting at. So once
Wow.
I know where I am in the timeline of the history of the humanity. So now I'm gonna be able to know what I have to do next. What's the next
Mhm.
step,
And
right?
so what did you realize? What was the why that
That's
got you
that's
here?
the
What
most
was it?
interesting. Yeah, that's the most interesting
Yeah.
part because my resolution after the studies was to understand that it was the moment for me to jump to work on IT. Like whatever I was doing, I should transform what I was doing in the cloud, in the digital world, which is what you're doing, what
Mhm.
our kids are doing, what everyone is doing now. So that was like the resolution. But in that moment, I didn't realize that I had to do that. So I was working at a time as a accounts manager for a menswear brand, Australian menswear brand, and yeah, I was very happy. I was general manager for a few different points of sale, and it was interesting to see how I was making my life, but I
Mhm.
was feeling that I was doing it without a purpose. That I didn't have like a real purpose for it. So I was looking
Mhm.
for it. And thanks to these studies in history, but also in the history, I was able to understand why I'm Colombian, why am I Colombian in Australia, why do I have a Christian background, why do I have a African, indigenous, Spanish
Mhm.
a background. So I was able to understand like colonization period. So it was very interesting the studies in history because I was able to understand it was from the 15th century to now, to the Cold War. So I was able to understand the discoveries of America, why that
Mhm.
happened, how did it happen, and the English people, they were
Yeah.
also migrating again to
Mhm.
the Americas. So the first people that were migrating from Europe to the Americas were Spanish and Portuguese, but why the English people they came into the north of America at what point, why? So that's the reason.
So, would you say that, like, you realized that migration is you realized after studying history that it was part of your culture and really everyone's culture? We're made to migrate.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we're definitely we are moving all the time. Definitely, we are
Mhm.
moving all the time, and we might be stay solid in one place sometimes. Some people, like many people of my
Mhm.
family, they stay wherever they are, but because they're developing, the tools that they need for the next generations to rise the next step. So if
Yeah.
I'm in Australia, it's because there was a global family of people working
Mm.
themselves a lot and working together so we can have like kind of a chance to come to Australia, right?
Wow.
It was
So, did you come alone to Australia?
yes, I came alone. I have a few friends, but yeah, I came alone.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
yeah,
big. So, you left your whole family behind and you just came all the way to the other side of the world to find out who you are and what you're doing, what you're supposed to be
exactly,
doing.
exactly.
And you're part of the queer community. And that was that scary?
Yeah, it was exciting. Like when I
Yeah.
was 24, I can tell honestly now. When I was
Yeah.
24 in Colombia, I was still in the wardrobe,
In the closet,
in the
in
closet,
the wardrobe. I love that.
in the cupboard.
I love you. Yeah.
I was still hidden in Colombia. So when I came here, I was actually excited that I was going to be able to be myself here without restrictions. So
Yeah.
by doing that, it
Wow.
was interesting because that was the best way that I was able to manipulate my thinking just for enjoying my first 6 years in Australia. So that's why my crisis
Wow.
was like after 7 years of being in Australia. I didn't have any crisis when I just arrived. For me, it was just fun. Like I was loving.
Yeah. So you
My
came here excited. You were ready to come out of the wardrobe,
yeah, yeah,
ready to enjoy your life.
yeah,
So your crisis happened after 7 years. Then you went through that breakup, and then you went, "Well, what am I doing here? What is this?"
yeah. Is it working well, the
Yeah,
cover? I think that I
yeah,
okay, cool. Sorry,
yeah.
sorry. Can you repeat
No.
the last question?
I'm saying so just to recap, you didn't have a crisis. You came here excited to get out of the wardrobe and your crisis came 7 years later when you had the breakup because then you had to question, well, what am I doing in this country on the other side of the world? What am I doing here? My
What am I
family's
doing?
there. What am I
Yeah,
doing with my life? What am I doing with my job? Like, because
yeah.
it's a big distance. And are you close to your family?
Yes, yes. So that was the thing. So it was 2020, crisis time, and I was like, "Yeah, Australia's fun. I can be myself here, but I still have a good relationship with my family. Like my family, they love
Yeah.
me. I love them. They are caring for me. We grew together, mom and dad. We're from a big family, six siblings, mom and dad, a lot of cousins, a lot of uncles and aunties. So coming from that context, it's like, yeah, I'm good here. Like I have good friends like Candice and like David and all our friends.
Yeah.
But uh, you need the full time support people around you somehow. So you need your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
You need
And
your
when you
friends
got here, did you feel like you had
behind you.
support or did you just start creating that? I mean, you're quite a social person, so you're able to create community, or was it hard to create community when you got here?
Well, to be honest, I found like yeah, in the school times I got like bullies, like many people, but yeah, I got like some bad bullies, and that made me very shy. But when I went to uni, I was my bachelor was in communications, so I was able
Uh-huh.
to develop like that kind of a skill of communication. Plus, the bullies when you're in the school that makes you that helps you to create a survival instinct for you to be
Wow.
very empathetic very easily. So many queer members community people, they are able to empathize very easily on customer service, on on businesses, on relationships in general. So for me,
Mm.
getting social here, where in a place where I could be myself, for me to be honest, that's the reason why it was easy. So for me, it was important to understand to study communications, but
Uh-huh.
uh, by being social, there is a responsibility as well because you, as a migrant, and you know that you are by yourself, you don't have like your family around. You need to build a network of people healthy for like good for your mental health, like good people
Mm.
around you. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
responsibility because when you are in your country, you um have your mom and dad around, your brothers, your best friends, but when you
Mm.
don't, and you have the responsibility to create a healthy group of people around you. So it's actually a responsibility that. So
Yeah.
migrating, getting out from your country, just putting all your life in a suitcase and come here, you're carrying as well another language which is full of responsibilities, and one of the responsibilities that you have is just to be a good citizen on one hand because you are not in your land, and
Yeah.
you also need to um, be able to understand that you need to create like healthy relationships for you and
Mm.
for
And how would you recommend, like, so someone's going to come over here, they're thinking of coming over and they're going through the process, or they're here already and they haven't found their community or, a strong group of friends. How would you recommend someone do that? What did you do how did you find your people?
I I think the most important thing that you need to have in mind when you are going to another place is that you need to be as empathetic as possible because that is going to help you to communicate a bit easier, not only with the community from yourself as well, because there is Colombian people here as well. So I need to
Uh-huh.
be able
Uh-huh.
to connect with my community here as well. But I also need to be able to understand like different communities. And that's why for
Yeah.
me, Australia is such a valuable place for people from countries like Colombia to come here. Because when you come from these countries, you're able to share also your cultural background as well.
Yeah.
So
So
in
being open, is that what you that empathy is that openness, being open to that connection and understanding of other people?
Yes, yes. Basically, it's just connecting because, like you, for example, you're from Fiji and your family is from Fiji, right?
Yeah.
And there is people from Japan, and there is people from China, but there is people from Middle East as well, and there is people
Yeah.
from Europe, and there is also Aboriginals, and but there is also people from different countries of Latin America, only in one place. So it's quite a good easy
Mm,
play for you to
yeah.
make connections because everyone is in the same position. Hey, I am a migrant and you are a migrant as well. So just let's be kind to each other, right?
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you're kind to each other, it's easy. Just so my further advice for someone that's coming, it's just be kind and be as empathetic as possible and open your
Mhm.
mind because the things that I've been able to open my mind like crazy. I've been able,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Which
Yeah.
can you name something that's really blown your mind, that's opened your mind since you've gotten here?
Well, the number of times that I've been able to cross the world just to come and go and visit my family, that definitely
Wow.
mine because every
Yeah.
time I go to visit my mom and dad, they're still alive, thank God. And my family, like I try to stop somewhere else. So
Yeah.
so that blows my mind. Like being able to
Yeah.
connect with many cultures in Sydney because Sydney is a city full of different cultures in one place. Especially with the food, I love the food that
Yeah.
the diversity of food that Australia and Sydney have.
Yeah.
But when I go back to Colombia, it's stopping in places from different parts of the world and getting in contact with different cultures very quickly,
Yeah.
very quickly. Sometimes I take sometimes a few weeks to get to know the places where I visit. But yeah, blows my
So it's
mind.
a real gift
Yeah,
to be able to live here, be able to afford to travel back home and stop other places and make new friends. And you know, that is something we take for granted, I think, a lot in Australia. We forget how lucky we are that
yeah,
we
yeah.
can work and save money if it's within our means and travel and go places, you know?
Yeah, I honestly, I say to my colleagues, so I work in IT, I work in cloud services,
Hmm.
and that's one of I have three hobbies in Australia, right? My three hobbies that I've been building in these few years has been one is a history, the second one is a poetry because I like to write a poetry
Love
uh,
poetry. Yeah.
in my Spanish Latin language,
Yeah.
uh, um, and working on IT, doing IT. I've been
That's
learning a lot of
amazing.
in IT and cloud in the cloud. So I live in the cloud. Like Monday to Friday, I live in the cloud. So
That's amazing.
yeah, in this moment, I'm in the cloud, in another cloud with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like working on the cloud, being on
And I
IT.
think what you've been able to do since getting here, which is what I think you were getting at with like when you had a crisis and you had to change jobs and study and whatever, is being able to adapt if you're going to migrate. If you might come here as one thing, as one profession, one qualification, but you might have to adapt and do something else. You might realize you're a whole different person. And I think I've watched you because I remember meeting you when you were in fashion, completely evolve. I mean, if you would have told me back then you're going to be in IT, I would have been like, no, he loves fashion.
Yeah, no, definitely. And
Yeah.
um, what another of the opportunities that you've got when you come to Australia is um to change your career. Like you don't need to do like a career of finance or accounting for 40 or 50 years. Like you're able to change. If I want to be a builder for 10 years, I can be a builder. If I want to work in
Mm.
migration, if I can be
Yeah.
a nurse, I can
Yeah.
be if I wanna, yeah, so that's one of the possibilities that you have also when
Do you
you're next.
think that in Colombia that there's you can do that as well, or it's different?
Yeah, no, it's not a common factor in the society.
Really? So
No,
people study what they study, they do what they do, and then they stay in that.
And they stay in there for a while. Yeah. But the things are changing. Like, like these
Mhm.
kind of tools that we're using now, technology is spreading very well in
Yeah,
Colombia. So I feel that Colombia is and South America in general is a population that is going very fast. They're learning
yeah,
very fast.
yeah,
So so yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very glad of the work that the people are doing there because they are also realizing that they don't need to go 5 years to university for they to be smart because they don't have the money either. But they can be smart
yeah.
enough to run a full IT course in YouTube for free, and
Yeah.
they will be able to work with that background, right?
Mhm. And I
So
mean, when I'm meeting migrants like you, anyone I'm meeting, they're so keen to take advantage of the education and study and be a contributing society person in society in Australia. Like there's a real hunger. I don't know if Australians understand how grateful migrants are to come here and be able to work and study. I think it's not something some people can understand, the level of gratitude that what do you think when people I'm going to ask you some controversial questions.
please,
When people
please.
are saying, well, we shouldn't have as many migrants, or we should, send them home, because I don't know if you send the migrants home, who's going to be doing all these amazing jobs? Like, a lot of people delivering Uber are so qualified, but they're just getting their feet and they're restudying and retraining. I talk to a lot of people. So I think, there's real value in having immigration. But what do you say to people that are like, no, we should stop immigration?
Trying to stop migration is like trying to stop evolution. Like that's not gonna happen. Like
Yes,
you
yes.
you can't stop migration because if if we don't come here, we're gonna go somewhere else. But the world is
Mm.
moving. Everything is
The world is
changing.
moving. That's what you said at
Yeah.
the beginning. The world is
Yeah.
moving. Everything's
And
evolving. That's when
there
you
is
were relating to
something
history.
else.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
and there is something else, and is the like the borders that we have. So we have borders in between countries, right?
Mm,
Apparently,
mm.
but those borders are in our minds. They're not real borders. Like
Yeah.
we have one
Yeah.
planet, one humanity, and there
Exactly.
is no way that a map is gonna limit us to migrate somewhere. If we
Yeah.
can't come to Australia, we're gonna go somewhere else. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
things are gonna keep changing. The boundaries, the borders that we have in the countries, it only existed for 80 years since the creation of
Mm,
the,
mm.
the United
Yeah.
Nations. But in
So
the entire
true.
timeline of the humanity, the borders of the empires, the borders of the big lands, the kingdoms, and everything it has been changing all the time. So our map is just a
Yeah.
thing in our minds. So
Exactly.
people
Oh, I love that. I
wanna
love that.
yeah, because
Yeah, I
people
love
wanna
that
go.
because
Yeah, I
I
love
didn't
that.
think about it like that, because I look at the world and I go, well, the Western society is destabilizing places like South America and Africa so they can, take all their resources. And then those people try to be refugees or migrate because the resources aren't there. And then we complain. We're like, why are they doing? Well, you destabilize their country. But when I look at it like that, from a holistic point of view, from a real ancestral point of view, like you've just told me, innately, we have always migrated. Human desire is to expand, explore, and it's innate and it's there. And you're absolutely right. Trying to stop migration is like trying to stop evolution. I don't know. That's just blown my mind.
Thank you. That blew me mind. I'm very happy for you. I'm very happy for you, and I'm very
Yeah.
grateful that I'm able to come here to share this story with you because I have to be honest with you. This is the first time that I sum up my life story in 23 minutes of time.
Yeah, yeah. So look, you're talking, someone's coming here. I think you told me the tips to give them is be open, be empathetic, make those connections. And what about, look, I know that a lot of people get homesickness when they get here and they're on their own, that missing your family. Did you get that when you first came here? Or you were too busy
Well,
coming out of the wardrobe going,
uh,
yeah.
no, I have to be honest. Like most of people they suffer from something that is called the migrant syndrome.
Okay. What is that?
Yeah. And this migrant syndrome is, imagine that your life is like a table, right?
Mm.
And the legs of the table, they are basically the things that hold your life. So one of the legs of my table is my family, the other legs is my friends, the other leg is my career, and the other leg is my religion, the other leg is my body, um the other leg, just the legs of your life, right? When you are a migrant and you flew away from your life, you arrive into a place where you don't have any of these legs, or you maybe
Wow.
have, yeah, or you don't have none of them, or you have only one of them. You only have your
Mm.
career, you only have your family because you came with your partner, but you don't have employee. So it's very challenging. It is very
Yeah.
challenging.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so on understanding that in your mind that you are in a position where your life is a table and all what I gotta do is just to understand it, to accept it, and to work on creating good relationship with good friends and creating a good career that I can be focused at, and creating be as spiritual as possible if you can, stay as
Yeah.
active, doing exercise if you can, going to the gym, staying active, so you'll be fine, right?
So
You'll be
finding the
fine.
legs of the table here, new legs to support the table.
Exactly, to support your
Mm.
life.
Yeah.
My advice, migrants, is like, it's okay to feel bad. Like, there's nothing wrong to feel upset because it's upset that I can't speak Spanish anymore, for at all. Like, not even for asking for a toilet around. So
Yeah.
when you're like kind of frustrated for that, you can get like loads of depression and loads of
Yeah.
anxiety as well.
Yeah.
So that didn't
Yeah.
happen to me. That happened to me 6 years, 7 years after. but
Yeah.
but yeah, that happened usually with people when they just arrive. Like in the first two
Yeah.
years, it's the hardest spots usually for expats. Um, and yeah, my personal advice from my experience is basically that. Yeah.
And so, as you look at your life right now, you've made Australia home. Do you think there is potential for you to explore and travel again and migrate again or go to another place? What are you thinking?
Well, I have to be conscious that life is short. One of the things that I also learned in history is that life is short. Like, we are living a very short portion of the timeline of the history of the humanity. So I need to understand that I don't have the longest life of the universe. But with the life that I have, I want to stay in Australia and in Colombia. So I want to be able
Okay.
to I became Australian citizen, so I love Australia. So I want to be able to escape from winter because I definitely I'm a bit of a lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be able just to escape from the winter at some point and coming back always for the summer
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
Australia is
So
amazing.
those are your
Australia.
two sort of anchor points at the moment. And do you have any final words for new migrants or any final sharings you want to share with us?
Yeah, no, the migrants, they just don't need to be afraid. There's
Don't be
not to be
afraid. Jump.
afraid. Don't be
Take the leap.
afraid. Especially when you come to places like Australia. Like in Australia, you'll be fine. Like, there is good people here. Like, the things are amazing here. It's not perfect because nothing is perfect, but
No.
I live personally with gratitude and with a purpose. Uh, and whatever you're doing, it's part of our own evolution and the evolution of the humanity in general.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Beautiful.
I
So
would be
just to
very.
sum up, sorry, continue, David.
Yeah, no, and I study history. Like,
Study
everyone should
history.
open the page and study history. Like, history opened my mind. So the
Well,
second thing that
you opened
blew
my
my
mind.
mind,
Say that again.
yeah,
Sorry, bit of delay. Go ahead.
the second thing that blew my mind in the order of things that blow my mind. So the second one was my studies in history to understand where I am. I'm like, when I was studying history and the all the revolutions, especially the French Revolution, I am a big fan of French Revolution, of the Cold War. Enlightenment period is one of my favorite things in history. Um, so that's something that really blow my mind. Like, wow, man,
Yeah.
I'm only alive for 70, 80, 90 years, and I need to get used to enjoy the moment. I'm in Australia,
Yeah.
man. I gotta enjoy this. So studying history really blew my mind and made me understand that I should just enjoy the
Yeah.
present, enjoy the
Enjoy the
now.
present. I love that.
Because
I
the
love that.
past,
So what I've
we
got from
have
you
already.
is that open heart, empathetic, enjoy the present. Don't be fearful if you're coming here, and study, obviously,
Yeah,
use your mind and have a support
this is
network.
a
Oh, my favorites.
yeah. Like everyone knows this guy. This guy is very trendy, and he kind of sound of like repeating a lot of things. But this guy is right, man. So one of the
Yeah.
things that I read the other day here, and I did write it in this page, was that the history is not the study of the past, but is the study of the changes. So we are changing all
Mm.
the time. It's
Yeah.
evolution. It's not
Yeah.
history. This guy says
Yeah.
this on Sapiens. So
Yes. I love it.
like we are not studying history just to understand like what happened in the past. We're just studying like
Mm.
the history of the evolution of the
Yeah.
evolution
Yeah.
of society.
And
So
like you
yeah,
said, to stop immigration is to try and stop evolution. And I think
yeah,
that's a really beautiful way to look at it. I think that's
yeah.
that's amazing. Thank you
Thank you.
so much,
Yeah,
David. We'll
no,
definitely
thanks
be
to you for
chatting
inviting me.
again. This
Yeah,
was
I was
so
very happy
good.
to do this with you.
Yeah, love it. Mind opening. Thank you.
Okay.